Oh my God. Emily, like I didn't realize that you were in Korea until we started recording this show. You're jumping around between all these different cafes and Starbucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's driving around. I'm like, she's got this.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing too unusual for her. And then it's like, yeah, I'm in Seoul right now. And
Yeah. I find out, I was listening to your episodes on InMyFeels, and you were talking about, when you were talking to the guests about like, here in Korea. And I was like, wait, is she in Korea?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the motherland.
Yeah. Well, wait, Warren, when was the last time you were in Korea?
Last June? So like a year or so ago. Yeah. Not this year, like 2019 before the...
Well, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's, I mean, obviously right now they're dealing with the coronavirus. They're dealing with the spike right now. So they are, they say they're at level 2.5. And so everybody's already wearing a mask. And they're even more like, how a lot of people will just be like, oh, like, or like, it'll be like this. And the US, it's very, I don't know, even though it's not correct, but like, it'll be like pretty lax. Like here, it's like, you can't not have it here. Like, it's kind of like you get looked at like, you, like, how do you not wear it? Like, it's anywhere you have to wear it. Anyway, so, it's much different here, and the cafes are only open to a certain time. Restaurants, same thing, and that's gonna last. The nice thing is that they have a time limit. Like they're like, this is gonna last until September 13th, and then we're gonna go back to normal. Whereas, obviously in the U.S. it was like,
that's
Let's do it.
sometime
they can't give you there's like you don't have a date. So like it's nice to know that they have it so under control in a way that like they give you a date that it's going to be done. And then even when I was in quarantine for those 2 weeks, I had to download an app on my phone that you have open like a GPS, and that GPS is like, one time I closed it because it was just like running down my battery. I was like, oh, they know where I am. I didn't leave. And I get a call and they're like, why'd you close the app? You need to have it open at all times. So I had to have it like,
Big Brother is watching you.
Yeah. And then they I had to report my temperature in the morning, and at night I had to get 2 COVID tests, and the second one, it was because the first one was inconclusive. So they sent an ambulance to my like place, and they took me in an ambulance there, and it was like the quickest thing. And the COVID result was back in like 3 hours, which beforehand it would take like 2 to 3 days if you were anywhere else. And so they're just really efficient. There are like other things. They drop little like care packages off at your door with like 30 masks, with like just things that you might need while you're in quarantine. That just mind-blowing, like the difference that I've seen with how they're handling COVID here too. It's really, really cool.
I mean, it's like we're all in this together sort of approach. And also, there are rules that are meant to be followed, and people are following them. So that we can all get through it faster. I wish, we had the same approach here in the West, in the U.S. Too much American. My liberty. I respect my authority. So,
freedom.
Yeah, but you're teaching, right? So how has that been going?
Yeah, so I'm teaching English, and it's been going good. This is my first week. I will say this is the first job that that's been something where, when you go into a first day and you're like, the first day is kind of hard because you're trying to get like used to everything. So you're like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then you get used to it. Yeah, this is the first job where I went into it and it like didn't feel that way. It felt like really nice and like really relaxing. Like I told you guys, like, do dragons exist? In like a whole 3 hours we're talking about if dragons are like a thing and how they might be, like why aren't they real, like, or I don't know, cannibalism. Like, let's talk about what are cannibals?
Wait,
what is cannibalism?
How old are your students?
Yeah. Are these teenagers? Are they?
No, they're like middle schoolers. So like they school, like 4th to 6th grade, I would say, and it's just a way to improve their English. So they can't speak Korean. I'm only speaking English to them. And we're just kind of going back and forth, just having them discuss and like form opinions, which is something different than what, like a regular Korean school is focused on. It's more about like the output, like result is what
passing
matters.
the tests.
Yeah. So here we're trying to make them have their own like thought process and like opinions by like discussing, but also improving their fluency at the same time.
That's one of those cool hagwons where
teach you 2 things.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. I don't know about any other hot ones and like their methodology, but this is definitely the one I'm at. But it's really fun, and it's not too bad. Obviously, like I definitely want to still do the media stuff that I was doing when I was here at the beginning of the year as well. But that won't happen until I'm like kind of settled, because I'm still, as y'all know, trying to figure everything out and don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So being there hasn't made it easier to like get guests, because you're still trying to get settled while you're trying to do other things.
Yeah, we do have guests. One of which is your bias, and she's hopefully going to come on very soon. But she was supposed to be on it. Like, this virus is so stupid, but she was supposed to be on it back in March. So it's like things like that we had planned when I was still here that we will do once I'm settled, pretty much.
Yeah.
Again, so it'll be good. But yeah, it is a little easy. Hopefully Dre can come out here, because when he's here, we're able to get like really, really, really big guests, and so. Yeah. So
because it's Dre.
It's Dre. Yeah. Once he's here, it's kind of much easier.
Yeah.
But
speaking of, like his song that he put out recently was almost my hit replay for this episode, because it features Salvi and Villain from PLT, and Villain's verse was great. He's talking about a lot of stuff that I'm like, wow, is he really putting it out there like that? Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. At first I heard it, I didn't understand what he was saying, and then I went back and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's intense. Like, I thought he was just like saying like, people are like, oh, people are fake in this industry. Like, but then he said like that, and I was like, damn. All right. Yeah.
So go check it out if you guys want to know what we're talking about.
I gotta go check it out.
Underrated. Yes, that's what it's called.
Underrated.
Yeah.
So do you guys think oh, sorry, we're gonna say something, Warren? Go ahead.
Oh no, I do want to like say though, like those little kids, I used to be one of them. We're nice at first. I wasn't a great student back in the day. I used to because I was already fluent in English when I went to those hug ones. I was kind of a mean student, so I want to apologize for anything that you might go through a little bit.
You were mean?
Do you want to send a note to your teacher that you might have messed with?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I apologize for everything I've done in 5th grade. I was in Korea until first year of middle school, so like 7th grade or so. And it would be like Monday, Wednesdays English, Tuesday, Thursday math, Taekwondo on Fridays, that kind of deal, basketball on Saturdays, and like, they're like 3-hour deals. They're kind of fun. It's but at the same time I was like messing around a little more than I should, to be honest.
So yeah, some of these kids have like 7 academies that they go to after school. Like, it's really, really intense, and they're like all just like tired by the time they get to like, because since I teach till 10, there's like a 3-hour block from 7 to 10, and so by 7 they've been in school for like 9 or 10 hours earlier on in the day, and they've just done one academy and they're coming into this one, and they're just like, I'm not talking, sorry. It's just like, Jesus, like they just run these kids into the ground.
It was a situation where like I would go to school to do homework for my hagwons and then like take a quick nap before I head in. And
I've heard about that.
Wow. Huh.
Oh, that was fun, but not that fun.
Yeah.
But look at where you are now, Warren. It made you into the person you are today.
Now I'm doing a podcast with y'all. So that too.
Doesn't get better than that. No, I'm just kidding. It really, anyway. What do you guys think of like this COVID-19 environment in Seoul and what that does to K-pop? Like, I've been surprised by how much they've been able to produce and carry on.
I know,
like,
right?
It's keeping me going, enjoying all this like K-pop escapism content, especially right now.
Yeah, I love that it was like when the sports were gone, they've started airing like Korean baseball on ESPN.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Like, I know they did kind of stop the music shows and a lot of the dramas that we're filming. But I think
my dramas? I'm so sad.
Which one did you want, or were you looking forward to?
I forget the Korean title, but it was like I don't even. Hold on. Let me remember. I don't want to get it wrong.
Who was the cast?
It was like one of the major ones, right? Like there was like really big cast members. Yeah. I don't know. I too am surprised with how well they've been able to continue like even music shows up until now without fans, like, because that's like, even though you're not having fans, that's like 100 people backstage, like with your stylists, the groups themselves, like the producers, the managers, like that's a lot of people, and it still hasn't really like affected them that much. Like I think it's really, the precautions are there for sure.
I mean, when I watched a lot of these videos and just seeing them, backstage hanging out or in rooms together, not wearing masks, I'm like, wow, that's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
It's kind of exciting though. Yeah. Is like I've seen so many companies and like groups take advantage of the situation to connect with the whole international audience. Like I know like bigger companies have been doing like online experiences, like online concerts and like online fan meets with like people in like North America and whatnot. And I was like, okay, maybe this is the future. Maybe we're just being accelerated into it because of the virus. But like I can see this as continuing on as after the virus ends and whatnot. Like that part's kind of exciting to me.
Right. Are you guys looking forward to the second K Contact in October?
I mean, it's going to make it more accessible. I think even before COVID-19, a lot of these conferences were looking at ways they could have quote unquote like online tickets to get people in. But I mean, it's no secret that what is it? And the parent company Mnet was like looking to CJ&M like to have all these regionalized stuff to make more money off of each of the localized in-person geographic events and do more. I probably make more money off of merchandising and the concerts themselves because like to scale what one can make online, I don't think translates as much for in-person conferences and events.
No, because I'll be honest, I paid for it, didn't watch any of it when it was live. Yeah, it was kind of the thing where it's like because it was scheduled, and so I was like working at the time, and also because it was 7 days of just live stream concert, and so I could only get a few of the performances, and like the times I was available to watch were the times where it was some of the people I wasn't that interested in watching. but it was nice that we got to get like the HD replays at the end, so for people who couldn't catch the live, they were able to get all the other stuff. And really it was the meet and greet stuff that was the most interesting. Like the performances, you can go watch like a better performance on a music show, but it was the kind of meet and greet stuff with the VR and AR, right? Where they integrated that into the performances, and that was really cool.
Yeah. Did you try to do like the actual like meet and greet, like did they have those like sort of like the high touch where you get like that 10-second thing, or they didn't, right?
Yeah, they had. It was for like people who submitted things early, and there were other like fan club certain things. I knew my odds were very bad, so I didn't even look into any of that. But there were certain things where like if you paid early, you got into a lottery to have like the seat at like the back where they have the wall of faces behind for the performances.
Oh, so that was what you were paying. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I wonder how with that you got the chance of like maybe speaking to one of the groups live.
But that was like a random raffle too, right? Like not everybody.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anything else that you wanted to share, Emily, about K-pop in Korea during COVID-19?
Is your Korean improving?
Yeah. Only because I have to use. You have to use it most of the time, and I've been really bad about like what's it called? What's the word? Practicing. Like, or I have like this app called Pimsleur on my phone that I use, and now that I'm here, I'm not putting it off like I was before. So it is better, but I'm certainly not like amazing. Warren, if you want to tutor me, I will pay you.
Oh, no. You're No.
No, I'm not. But yeah, it's getting better for sure.